in one of the strangest weeks that I can remember, dodging Hurricane Ian, getting ready for a football game, and then the Sunday night spotlights on our Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. All of a sudden, Kansas City explodes for their best game of the season, and we more than likely didn't play our best game of the season.
No, not at all. And obviously the tempo was set early on with the fumble, the very first kickoff return, and from there it just kind of snowballed. The defense had the sudden change, had to go out there and try to make a stop, and 2 short plays later, Kansas City scores a touchdown, and it really kind of snowballed from there as the game went on.
Yeah, and we knew that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were going to come in here with their A game. They had suffered just a heartbreaking loss on the road to the Indianapolis Colts last week, a game where they literally shot themselves in the foot. They could have won that game by 10, 15 points, but they lose by 3. So they had a little edge about them, and they come in here and say, hey, we're going to take care of it. We're going to relive the Super Bowl, but we're going to win this time. And that's what they did. How about Mahomes? I mean, 3 touchdown passes, did throw an interception, but I thought that the play of the running game, 189 yards rushing by Kansas, that's the most we've given up in 2 years.
Right. And their offense really looked good. That offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage all day. They opened holes in the running game, and obviously every third down was third down 4 or less. Mm-hmm. And when the Bucs had opportunities to rush the quarterback and try to generate some pressure, they got caught without their contained rusher. And when you play a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, you have to keep him in the pocket, force him to get rid of the football, but when he gets outside, he can use his legs. Seen him do that. Yeah. And then we saw the pirouette shovel pass for a touchdown. He just creating things on the outside. And the Bucs have been so good over the last few years of containing quarterbacks, force them in the pocket, and if you do get beat, a lot of times it's a hole in the middle where they're just making a good play on their end. But today you saw guys both in the run and the passing game get out of position, and it's uncharacteristic of this Bucs defense.
Well, I know this, that Andy Reid probably pulled out every play in his playbook. They had a tight end running a touchdown, a 1-yard quarterback sneak as a wildcat quarterback. I mean, Andy pulled out all the stops, and it paid off with a 41-31 win over our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, on the positive side, welcome back Mike Evans, welcome back Julio Jones, welcome back Chris Godwin. Tom Brady had his weapons, and it results in a 300-yard plus passing game for Tom and the Bucs, except we were behind way too early and never could catch up.
Without a doubt. And that was because of the lack of the run game on offense. It made it difficult, again, with third and long situations, just like we talked about with Green Bay. Anytime you're not productive in that run game, 3 yards rushing as an offense is probably not something they want to remember. However, they did make plays. You got Mike Evans back, as you mentioned. He had 100 yards rushing today, a couple of touchdowns, and that's huge. And then Godwin, a little bit of a scare there, but it was great to see him back, and he contributed in a big way. And you can see how that's going to help, build this offensive production with the weeks to come. And Julio Jones was back, but he was kind of in and out, so we'll have to see how he is. Russell Gage was also in there and made some plays. So, the Bucs offense, they just need to do a better job of controlling the line of scrimmage, opening some holes, a little more production out of that run game, and this offense will be back clicking again.
I know you hit the number, 3 yards, right? 6 yards rushing maybe, but Rachaad White scored his first career touchdown of his young career, and it was good to see him get some snaps. He has been in there, although don't fumble the ball on the opening kickoff, Rachaad, please. But he did score his first career touchdown, and that's a good sign because Lenny Fournette can't carry the ball every game, 100% of the rushing attempts.
Well, it was clear going into this game that they were utilizing him too much. As a number 1 running back, it's hard to get the majority of the snaps like he was, but Rachaad White came in, catches the ball extremely well out of the backfield, and he has a great patience waiting on the offensive line for holes to develop, and we saw some of that today. So I would expect to see some more split reps in the games with Fournette and White, and I think that's going to do nothing but help the offense.
Bucs are 2-2 now, and in the division, tied with the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta, the surprise team, maybe in the NFC South, but we get a shot at the Atlanta Falcons next week, 1 o'clock kickoff at Raymond James Stadium. And to me, the way they played New Orleans and lost a heartbreaker at the very end, but they've come back strong, and they beat a good Cleveland Browns team today.
Right. Well, we're going to get their best, without a doubt, and we always do. But the Bucs, it's early, 2-2. You can survive that. It's early. It's the first quarter of the season. The key now is to every week play a little bit better to be back in the position they want to be come November and December.
Well, Dave, the Bucs don't win this time, but we look ahead to Atlanta Falcons, and maybe we'll have smiling faces and a Bucs win to talk about next Sunday. Go Bucs!